Okay, we'll start again. So we have a mitzvah to believe in Hashem, believe in God. The Rambam lists this mitzvah as the first mitzvah in his Sefer Mitzvot. So there is a mitzvah, but where is it found? In the Torah. So the Rambam tells us, and others agree, it is the first of the Aseret HaDibrot, the first of the 10 Commandments. Anochi Hashem Elokecha, Am the Lord your God. And that first of the Aseret HaDibrot is actually a mitzvah to believe in Hashem. Although it doesn't come in the form of a command, it comes in the form of a statement of fact. But within that mitzvah, says the Rambam, within that dibur is the mitzvah to believe in one God. Right after the Aseret HaDibrot are mentioned for a second time in Parashat V'etchanan, my friends, we see that we have the Shema. The Shema comes right after the Aseret HaDibrot. The Gemara in the Yerushalmi tells us, and others speak about it, that the Aseret HaDibrot, the 10 Commandments, can be seen in the Shema. All of the commandments, all 10 of the Aseret HaDibrot can be seen in the Shema. Actually, all 613 mitzvot are branches that stem from the Aseret HaDibrot, from the 10 Commandments, which means all 630 mitzvot can be seen in the Shema as well. I'll just give you one of them because we mentioned it yesterday, but where do you see Shabbat in the Shema? Where do you see Shabbat in the Shema? So the rabbis tell us, Va'ahavta et Hashem Elokecha, you should love the Lord your God. Ahava of the Shema is reflective of the fourth of the 10 commandments, which is to keep Shabbat. That's why we mentioned the word ahava in relation in Musaf to Shabbat and actually not to the other Chagim. That's interesting in and of itself. Okay, so let's have a look at the first line of the Shema as it appears in the parasha. And the Shema itself has within it, we said, the Aseret HaDibrot, which means it's got all the 630 mitzvot, and it's probably got all of the major philosophical and special ideas that we hold very dear in Judaism. But the first line, let's just focus on the first line, because if you look at it, although he said every day, multiple times a day, twice a day, midoraita, 2 more times midarabanan, according to the rabbis, that first line is a rather unusual line. And Rashi is going to even comment how unusual it is. Let's start with the first word. And let's go a little bit deeper today, if you don't mind. We say Shema. What does the word Shema actually mean? So if you look at the translation, it says to hear. But the word Shema is a very interesting word. The root, the shorish of the word Shema, doesn't mean actually to listen or to hear. It means to understand. Lahavin, to understand something. So when these words were first said, and we're going to see where they were first said, they were not first said by Moshe Rabbeinu, right? This verse appears right now. Before Moshe Rabbeinu dies, he's telling the Jewish people, Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. But actually, these words were said many years before, right before someone else died. And that is Yaakov Avinu. Jacob is about to leave this world, and we know that Yaakov's name was changed from Yaakov. Actually, not changed. A name was added. It wasn't a change. It's not like Avram to Abraham. A name was added of Yisrael. He's going to represent the Jewish people for all of history. And so, someone is speaking to him because they're saying, Shema, listen, understand, Yisrael. Who is Yisrael? Yaakov Avinu. Who is saying this? His sons. He's about to die. And a certain amount of information about the end of days was concealed from him, from being able to relate it to his sons. He was nervous. Yaakov Avinu was scared that maybe one of his sons went off the derech, went off the way, just like his grandfather had a Yishmael and his father had an Esav. He thought one of his sons was not so good and removing his ability to have nevuah at that one moment. That was not the case. Hashem did not want Yaakov to reveal the ketz, the end of days, and the exact date of Mashiach's arrival. That's what was closed off. It wasn't one of the problem with his kids. All of his kids came out great, Baruch Hashem. His mitah was shalem, his bed was whole, which means all his kids were great. So they said, Shema Yisrael, listen, Yisrael, they were talking to him, Hashem Elokeinu, right? God, Hashem is our God. Hashem Echad is one. He's one with all of us. So don't worry about that. So that's who that original statement was made to. Now it's become a statement of faith in general. So Shema actually means to listen, to understand. They were saying, listen, understand, we're all okay. But the word Shema, the rabbis tell us, very interesting, means to gather together. When you pull items together, I think in Tanakh it's used to gather sheep. The word Shema means to gather together. Why would the word for listening or understanding be to gather together? Well, when you see something, you see it as a whole. It's there in front of you. But when you hear, you have to gather together, collect the different words in a sentence to make sense of them. So the word Shema, it makes sense and it means gather together, because right now I'm talking to you, you're hearing my words, but you have to gather them together in your mind to understand what precisely I'm saying. If I were to show you something, that wouldn't need any gathering together. You just see it, you understand it, it goes in, which is why you can't compare Re'iyah to Shmiya. Seeing something is considered to be a higher level of proof because you're seeing it in one go and it goes into your eyes and into your brain straight away. Shema means I got to think about it, I have to understand it, have to connect the words in order to make sense. So the word Shema means to gather together. So when you say Shema, listen, you mean understand. Put all the words I'm saying into your brain, into your cerebellum, or probably your hippocampus, and understand what I'm saying. So that's Shema. The word Shema is made up of 3 letters, Shin, Mem, Ayin, which stands for Shacharit, Mincha, Arvit. Right? The 3 times of the day we have to listen to, speak to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and think about HaKadosh Baruch Hu. If you spell it backwards, it's Ayin, Mem, Shin, Ol, Malchut, Shemayim. Taking upon yourself the heavenly yoke of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which is a mitzvah every morning and every night. So Shema actually has a double purpose of helping us understand, listen, but also a declaration of faith every single day. In the morning, b'shachpacha, uvkumecha, when you wake up in the morning, b'shachpacha, when you go to sleep, which is when the mitzvah do'oraita of saying Shema, the Torah mitzvah of saying Shema, kicks in. You said it in the morning, and you said it at nighttime, after Seder Kachavim, after the stars have come out. Even the sounds of the letters are meaningful over here, my dear friends. Shema is made up of a shin, which is a sh, it's a mem, which is a m, and it's an ayin, which is an ah. So I read a Kabbalistic work many years ago, someone showed it to me, and says even these 3 sounds have a lot of significance. Shh means to be quiet. We say we do it today. Shh. Right? The person in synagogue who, he's the shusha in synagogue. Actually, we're all shushas in synagogue when we say the Shema. We're saying shh. And then there's the sound, which is an understanding. And then there's the ah, I get it. So it's shh, ah. Those 3 sounds, say the rabbis, signify an initial thought, an entrance of that thought, and then an understanding. Now you'll notice that the word Shema ends with the letter Ayin. Ayin. And in every Sefer Torah and Chumash, they will make it Ravti, which means big. Right? So the rest of the Chumash is times New Roman 12. The Ayin is times New Roman 18, if you will. That is connected to the last letter, which we haven't reached yet, which is a Daled, which is also made large. It's unusual to have 2 letters that are enlarged within the same pasuk. And they spell the word Ed, which means a witness. We are God's witnesses. Every time we say Shema, we become Edim. We become witnesses to HaKadosh Baruch Hu's existence. That declaration of faith, which is reflective of the first of the Aseret Dibrot, which you mentioned already, as it connects to belief in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Okay, let's go to the pasuk some more, because there's a lot more to unpack over here. So Shema Yisrael. Yisrael, we said, is the name that was added to Yaakov, which represents a higher level. Yaakov is a lower level. Yisrael is a higher level of the Jewish people, Yaakov Avinu and the Jewish people. And then we see Hashem's name 3 times. Hashem, that's Yud with a Hey and a Vav and a Hey. And then Elokeinu. And then, again, Yud with a Hey and a Vav and a Hey. Why is Hashem's name mentioned 3 times? And why in 2 different forms? And why is Elokeinu sandwiched between Hashem's name? So the name Yud with a Hey and a Vav and a Hey is the name of Hashem's mercy, of Rachamim. It's a contraction of 3 names. Haya, Hoveh, Yeh. The God that was, the God that is, and the God that will be. That's this name, right? When you smash those 3 together, you get the name Yud with a Hey and a Vav and a Hey. This is the miraculous name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the name that is above the natural order, the name of Hashem's mercy, the name of Hashem's miracles. When Moshe Rabbeinu spoke to Paro, he used this name. We're not dealing with the name of attribute of din, of judgment, Elokeinu. We're dealing with the name of Hashem, which is the name of miracles. Haya, past, Hoveh, is, and Yeh, will be. So when Moshe Rabbeinu spoke to Paro, he said, I'm made to represent the name of miracles, which is why right afterwards you have all of the miracles. He needed that name. The Avot, the forefathers and foremothers, did not operate with that name. They operated with Kel Shakai. This name of Kadosh Baruch Hu, of God, is the name of mercy, Rachamim, and there's no greater mercy than doing a great miracle for somebody else. And so that's the name of Yud with a Hey and a Vav and Hey. Right afterwards it says Elokeinu, because that's the name of judgment, of din. So we go from mercy, Rachamim, which is the name of Havaya, to the name of din, judgment. So Hashem is not just the God, the merciful God, he also has a din and a cheshbon. Follow my commandments, right? Because there's a din, there's a cheshbon, there's a judgment that is upon us. Right afterwards it says it again. Yud with a Hey and a Vav and a Hey. Why? Because we don't want HaKadosh Baruch Hu's judgment to spill over. And therefore, so the rabbis, this name of Elokeinu is sandwiched between Hashem's name of mercy, as if to contain it, to control it, to make sure it doesn't overspill its boundaries. It's held in abeyance and held together. And then we have the final word, which is Echad, oneness. Hashem is one. When we say one, we don't just mean one, because I'm one, and the egg I'm about to eat is one, and the coffee I drink is one. No, there is only one. This is the absolute uniqueness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the oneness. It's not just one, it's oneness. There is no other unity in the entire universe that is reflective of the oneness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And that's why it starts with an Aleph. An Aleph is the number 1. There is only one. When you say this word, you're meant to think the following. From the Aleph, the absolute unity of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Chet is the number 8, which represents the 7 heavens and earth. That's 7 and 1. You're meant to think that when you say this word, Echad. This is what you're meant to have in mind. Is God's oneness, where over the 7 heavens, right? That means the entire universe, the 7 levels of heaven, and oneness in this world too. And then the Daled is the number 4, which are the 4 directions of this world. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu is 1, Aleph, Echad in the 7 heavens and in this world, and in this world in all 4 directions over the entire world itself. Rashi comes along and adds a very interesting piece. And he says, why does it end with Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad? You should just say Hashem Echad. What is this idea of Hashem Echad? So he says, Hashem, this is God. Shu Elokeinu Ata. He is our Elokeinu now. The law, Elokei Ha'umot. But he's not the God of the other nations. What does that mean? So the other nations of the world are not aware, understandably, of Hashem's oneness. They have an idea of God, but they don't fully appreciate the absolute unity of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He says, however, Hu atir liot Hashem echad. In the future, when Mashiach comes, as we know, in those days, and he quotes the pasuk from Safania, ki az efoch el amim, because he's going to turn over the language of the nation, al amin safa b'ruah lekrob kolam b'shem Hashem. In the future, when Mashiach comes, they will be able to declare this verse, knowing there is an absolute unity. Right now, they may have an idea that's a God, but they don't have the idea of the absolute unity of God. Says Rashi, quoting this pasuk in Zephaniah the prophet. And then he quotes Zechariah, chapter 14, verse 9. I don't know why I have to quote this one as well. And he says, B'yomahu, these are the words we see at the end of Aleinu. B'yomahu, Yashem echad, ushmo echad. In those days, God will be one and his name will be one. So Rashi is bringing down these prophets to say that right now the Goyim, the other nations, understand God, but they have their other gods, they attach, they're misunderstanding, right? They'll put Jesus in there, right? This plurality of gods, chas v'chalila, Hashem, Elokeinu Hashem echad, there is one God. They don't know it now, but they will do. So Rashi is actually understanding this verse in an amazing way. So let's follow Rashi's understanding of this pasuk. Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu. Right? We know from the days of the Avot that Hashem is our Elokeinu. Right? But Hashem Echad, the unity and understanding of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, isn't complete in this world. Because there's other nations who still believe in their Avodah Zarah. They'll still believe in Jesus. They'll still put polarity, right? The Trinity, all this stuff. They're still suffering under these idolatrous notions of God. So Rashi says, yeah, that's now. But when Mashiach comes, the real Mashiach, his main job is to unify the entire world. And they're all going to speak, right? B'safa b'ruah, in a very clear language, Sefania, lekrob kulam b'shem Hashem, to call in the name of Hashem. What name is that? Then he brings down Zachariah to say, B'yomahu, in those days, Yashem echad, u'shmo echad. In the future, Mashiach comes, he's going to be one. So when we say these words, Hashem echad, we know God is one. We understand it. We always understood from the days of the Avot. But when Mashiach comes, this pasuk is telling us that even the Goyim, even the non-Jewish people, will know with an absolute clarity that there is only one. There is no Trinity, chas v'chalila. There's no plurality. There's no duality. There is an absolute oneness that comes. And that is in this pasuk. So the pasuk actually is also a prophecy that right now there are other nations who see duality or plurality, chas v'chalila. We say Hashem echad. They in the future, when Mashiach comes, at that point, the knowledge of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, of God, as the Prophet Isaiah said, is going to cover the earth like the waters cover the entire earth. Right? So too in those days, there will be an absolute oneness and understanding that there is no one else. Hashem is the absolute echad. And actually, that's what you're meant to have in mind when you say the word echad, as well as the fact that you're willing to give up your life for the unity, for the absolute oneness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You're meant to think echad, aleph is one, there is only one God. Chet is 8, right? Because that's the number, the gematria, the numerical value of the letter chet. That is 7 heavens, and in this world there is one. And Daled is in this world as well, in the 4 directions, there is only one. And I'm meant to give my life up for that one God. You're meant to think all of that when you say the word echad, which is why many people will prolong the echad. Actually, it's the Daled you're meant to prolong, not the aleph or the chet. It's actually the Daled. And it's not the you don't do that. Or right? It's echad. Right? On the Daled, you have all of those ideas I just said in 20 minutes. When you say the word echad, you're going to have to keep it short, or you'll be, saying the Shema for a long time, which people actually used to do. Okay, that is the secret behind the verse Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. We'll stop over there. Have a great and successful day.